You're gonna find out what it is in just a second, but I am so excited for what I have planned for today's episode of Transport Fever 2. I am so excited to get started with this. Now, I do want to be clear, I'm not moving away from the trains project here in Limerick or up at Belfast permanently. I just want to take a break from it for today to do something a little bit different. I have some ideas for how we can make this even better, and I'm also thinking that I want to bring passenger trains to Ireland at some point in the very near future as well. And I'm considering the idea that I might base my passenger trains off of the real life train lines that run around the island, of which there are not that many, but I know some of them very, very well, and I think that could be really fun. But that's something we can talk about in the future, because today I want to turn my attention to Belfast. And I want to turn my attention to Liverpool, because we are finally going to be playing with boats, something that I almost never really use in Transport Fever 2. And I've had a few ideas for the way I would like to do this. Now, I do want to bring fuel to Belfast. There is a demand for fuel over here, much in the same way there's demand for fuel in Omagh and Castlebar, and there's demand for fuel down in Tralee and Cork as well. So we have a few destinations for fuel in Ireland, Northern Ireland, on the island of Ireland, but we also have somewhere like Sheffield that happens to want fuel as well. Now, we've talked about this. We've talked about the way I want to do this. I was looking at this little triangle that we have going on right here, and I was thinking that I would run some trucks from the oil well to the oil refinery to the fuel refinery and then over to the docks that are yet to be built in Liverpool. But then I realized we have an oil well just north of Liverpool with an oil refinery just north of Liverpool as well. So why don't I, instead of having some lines that are running empty from Leeds fuel refinery to Liverpool, or well, from Liverpool to the refinery once they drop off the fuel, why don't I have a line that goes from this oil well to the refinery and have that set up to move a ridiculous amount of crude oil, and then have a line that brings all of that processed refined oil over to the Leeds fuel refinery, and then that same line brings the fuel back to the docks. So that same line is making a ton of money, and in the process we can just skim a little bit off the top and start bringing some of that fuel down to Sheffield as well. So we get a little bit of money and we get a little bit of growth here in Sheffield. And we also have the opportunity, of course, to provide fuel to Belfast. This is a pretty big project, and this is going to take a lot of money to do. So I'm going to get started in Liverpool, because first things first, I need to spend a bunch of money to demolish a bunch of things. So this road is going to go away. This road is going to go away. This road is going to go away. And then basically, I want to go in here and get myself something like a cargo harbor. And for now, I'm going to place it here. Now, there's going to be a lot of wasted money with this project, because a lot of what I want to do here is flatten the terrain. And I want to really try and make this look interesting and kind of cool and kind of neat. So that's my goal with this. Basically, we're going to flatten this terrain out like this. It is going to be several $1 million to make this work. But the reason I'm doing this is because I can bring that terrain back a little bit further. And then I want to go into the river itself. I want to get a square brush right here. And I want to maybe make it a little bit smaller. I'm going to keep the game running while I do this, because I can keep making money while I do this. Basically, I want to go and create just a straight cutoff point here. And this is where we are going to try. I love that it's built a road there. This is where we're going to try and build some kind of harbor for Liverpool. I'm going to bring this down as well, just to give myself a little bit more room to play with. We'll smooth this out and make it look a bit better later on. But for now, I just want this. This is what I want to work with. We'll smooth that a little bit, because I'll forget to do that 100%. And then essentially we go in here, and now we have this to play with, which of course isn't quite at the right angle that I would want it to be, but that should be fine. I can rotate this around, Shift and N. I can rotate this guy. I'm not 100% sure it's going to let me place it though, because it usually doesn't. And yeah, it absolutely doesn't. Holding Shift and clicking doesn't actually work which is really annoying. So we're going to have to go back a little bit further because it will rotate the right way around. I just need to chop out a little bit more of the terrain. So we'll go from here. We're going to chop out all of this. We'll chop out a little bit more. And my hope is that in doing this, it is eventually going to be rotated the right way around so I can get my docks to face the way I want them to. I don't need to do this. There's absolutely zero real need to do this at all, but it's going to look cool. And that's what matters. That's what's important to me, is that this looks cool. So that right there is where we're going to get started. I am going to have to bulldoze this road because I kind of need that space. And then what I'd like to do, and I probably should have done this when I built the thing. I should have built a large terminal, but I can go in here, bulldoze this guy, and I want to put a large cargo terminal right here, and then bulldoze this because I can replace it and get it to line up perfectly with the cargo terminal. And I think that looks pretty good. That's essentially what I'm looking for. That is going to be our Liverpool docks, harbor, cargo terminal, whatever you want to call it. And I'm also kind of thinking that we do some passenger terminals as well. I think that would be a really fun little experiment here to also move people over to Liverpool as well. We could use a small dock to make that happen though, which might not be the worst thing in the world, because having 2 cargo terminals here might not be a bad idea. It really, really might not be a bad idea. It's a little expensive, but it means I can have multiple ships coming over here. And I think that's going to be for the best. So let's do a small passenger dock here and here. We will do this guy right about here. And then I should be able to go in here and build a landing for the passenger boats. We can have landings here and here as well for the cargo ships. And then essentially, I want to bring the terrain out to the edge of this dock so that it looks a little bit more seamless. So we're going to flatten a bunch of terrain again, which is going to be a little bit messy looking for now, but that's okay. I also need to flatten all of this space because I need to get some roads through here as well. Again, a ton of money being spent to do this, but it should look pretty good once it's done. And then very simply, we're going to bring this terrain out to about there and sort of just go a little rough with it here and there because I can smooth that out and hopefully make it look some sort of way decent. And I think that looks okay. We'll have to play a little bit with the river on the other side as well because it's a little bit too squared off. This area as well, we probably want to tidy up ever so slightly because we do need to get a truck depot in here. That's going to be important. So this can be our location for a truck depot. And you know what? I'm going to bring the river sort of through here a little bit more just so it kind of like tapers off that way. And then I think we go for a slightly larger brush and we do something similar out here. We kind of like round it out a little bit. And I think that looks okay. We're completely broke now, which is a problem, but we'll get some money. We can smooth this out. I can put some infrastructure in here and then I have to do this all again over at Belfast. So this is the plan. It's just it's a very expensive plan, but it should be good. So in terms of road connections, we'll keep things relatively simple on this side, but over here is going to be slightly more complicated because the terrain difference is a little higher. So I'm going to take out this road here and I'm going to try and do something that might be a little bit silly, but I think it could look very, very cool if we loop this around here and then basically go in and do another little right angle kind of thing here. So something to about that spot. I then wonder, could I somehow, some way get this to be a bridge? And it doesn't look like that's going to be the easiest thing to do. So here's hoping I can make this work because I think it'd be very, very cool to have a bridge going over that road. I think that would look really, yeah, sort of that. It's not quite where I want it to be, but that's sort of along the lines of what I'm looking for. So that essentially, but the bridge pillars are colliding. I don't want to go too steep with it. It's kind of my problem. So let's try bringing this road. Let's change up this road a little bit. Let's bring it out of there. Let me sort of bring it over this way a little bit. And then I want to sort of turn it to face that other road. So we'll go a straight line a little bit further. We'll turn it to about there. That seems like it'll be okay. And then I wonder, can I now connect these guys together? I totally can, and I love that. It's really steep. It's really, really, really steep. Ooh, that's a little bit less steep though. The bridge is a bit weird looking. Only the one pillar on it is a little bit odd. I wonder then, if I was to go in with a smooth tool and just sort of tidy all this up a little bit, is that going to look better? Is it going to be better if I just, you know, have the terrain looking a bit less terrible? I mean, it's more even. That is, it's less, I mean, it's got one pillar on this side. It's got two on that side. I don't know which I prefer. I don't want it to be crazy steep. It gets steep up here already. Oh man, what do I want to do with this? How do I want to do this? I think I'm going to stop worrying too much about it because I'm starting to worry about aesthetics in Transport Fever 2, and I think that's a problem. So we'll just go ahead and do this. And that's very cool. It's so unnecessary, but I think that's very cool. We'll go ahead and just upgrade this road to be a little bit bigger, a little bit higher speed. I think that looks okay. It's so unnecessary, but I love it so much. And so now the final little thing to do in here is get ourselves a truck depot of some sort. I am broke again, so building this guy is going to be fun. But I can build it up here, and I think that'll be totally fine. Right about there is kind of my thinking. Again, very much broke, so this is just a bit of a process, but that's okay. We are making money. It's just that I am spending money faster than I can make it right now. It's an investment. This is a pretty major investment, to be fair. We're doing something that is going to be very good for us in the long term, potentially. Very, very big potentially on that. It should be. It should be very good for us in the long term. Not a beautiful little intersection there, but honestly, it's probably fine. We'll go ahead and just extend the cargo platforms down here a little bit. And I would love to have one of these little buildings in here. It's super expensive, but it does kind of bring this all together in a way that I really appreciate. And I'm wondering, can I get like some of the big buildings in here as well? I can. It is going to mess with the terrain, something fierce, but I think I'm okay with that. I don't love it. I definitely don't. I don't love the look of that. Let's do something like this. Let's do a little building right here. And I guess a little building down here as well. I guess that wouldn't hurt. A little bit weird looking, but I'm okay with that. Let's just smooth out that terrain because, again, looks a little bit hideous. Maybe a flatten tool just to bring it all back a little bit and then smooth it out. That looks okay. I kind of like the cliff there. I'm not going to lie. Anyway, this will be up and running in a little bit. We're not going to get this thing functioning right now because I need another like $15 million to build something similar in Belfast. So what I'd like to focus on for now is getting some production going on here. And so to do that, we're going to be connecting this thing to a little platform. So it's going to live right about there. We are going to be bringing that crude oil down to this refinery. And I think the way we're going to do that is by building ourselves a little truck stop right about there. And so that's going to be a super short line. It could be shorter, to be completely honest. In fact, oh, wait a minute. Hold on a minute. What would happen if I did that? Because that truck stop, if I put it right there, is connected to... How would that work? Yeah, how does it work if the truck stop's connected to both facilities? I would like to find out. I would like to find out how that works. Okay, so playtime is over. We now have oil production. It's going to be going down here, and that's fine. This line has a rate of 15, so we really don't need too many vehicles on it, but that is fine. I'm going to go up and say this line is going to have, I don't know how many vehicles. 6 gives us a rate of 90. Give me another bunch of vehicles for a rate of 180-ish, which should be fine. And give me another bunch of vehicles. Give me 24 vehicles in this line, which is ridiculous. That's way too many vehicles, but that's okay. We're gonna have a lot of fuel to pick up here. So this is, oh, a new boat. Okay, don't mind if I do. Yeah, we're going to have a lot of fuel to pick up. That's totally fine. We should now go ahead and connect Manchester to Leeds. And what I'd also like to do is connect Manchester across from here to there, which is a little bit expensive, but that is okay. The connection to Leeds is going to be tricky because we kind of need to go up this hill, which is pretty steep, or we go through it. That would be another option, actually. And I'm not against going through it, to be completely honest with you. That's, yeah, that actually might be the cheaper option. I mean, it's $1 million to do it. It's a lot of money to do this, but I want to say that's the better option. I think just the more direct option is probably going to be better for this, right? So we'll do this. I would like to carve out, if at all possible, just a little bit of this road, because I'd like that to be a curve if I can get it to be one, which I'm relatively sure I can make that into a nice little curve there. So we'll just go from you to there, and that looks a little bit better. We can smooth the terrain to make it look better here and here as well. And then we want to go to this road, which is actually quite steep. I don't know if I love that. Let's go to here. Let's go to this little intersection right here. So we'll bring this out. It is getting rid of a couple of buildings. Maybe I just go straight for the connection. And it's bulldozing some stuff. It's getting rid of some terrain. I don't love that, but I think we're at the point where I can kind of afford these efficiencies. So I'm sort of all right with that. That now runs straight through Leeds to here, which is fine. I have so much optimization to do to make this all a little bit better than what I built there while I was messing around, but we're getting there. Let me upgrade this road. Let me upgrade this road and this road. And then I'd like to bring a new road straight out of here is what I would like to do. And then I suppose we can connect you straight through here. And that should be fine. And then can I connect these roads together in a way that's going to look decent? I think I totally can, which is beautiful. So that's going to give us a quicker run down to Sheffield, which is great. Do I want to tidy up this road? Do I care about this road too much? I think I just want to make it bigger is what I'd like to do, because I'm going to have a lot of my vehicles going back and forth here. They're going to get slowed down by, I didn't mean to upgrade the entire road, but sure. I guess that's what we're doing. I would like this to stay as like a country looking road out here. I just want the extra lanes so my vehicles can get around easily, which they now can. Looking at this, our Sheffield line is going this way. Our fuel line is going this way, which is great. Are they going to different terminals right now? They are, which is perfect. And so now, oh man, now we have a bit of money. We have some steps that we have to take here. I would like to look at my Liverpool oil to fuel line. So it is coming in here. It is going through our tunnel, through Leeds, down to there. After Leeds East, I want to say you are unloading oil. You are loading up on fuel. And I want to say you're going to wait for a minimum of like 20 seconds. And that should be fine. You're going to wait for a maximum of 40 seconds in Leeds, and that should be fine. After Leeds, I want this line to come through here. I want it to go down here, and I want it to drop off its fuel. And then it just runs back through Liverpool to where it needs to go, which is perfect, I think. I assume. I would assume this will kind of work. It would be nice if it sort of came down this road to take some of the traffic away from this road, but I don't know if we need to do that. It's also probably slower going that way, but it would be kind of cool to see it sort of coming in this way. I'm not gonna lie. I just really like the idea of this road getting used a little bit more, but sure. This will be fine. This is what we're going for. It's using the little loop. It's whatever. So that's how it's going to work. It's going to pick up the oil here, take it to Leeds East, turn it into fuel, bring it back to Liverpool, and everything should be fine. That's the goal. That's the plan. That's the idea. Whether or not it works is to be determined, because we are going to need more vehicles. This line has a rate of 2 right now. Our production here is going to be a lot more than that. It is going to be half of whatever the rate of this line is, which is 377. So 150 and 150 is 300. Oh my God. 185 is roughly the production of this line. I don't think I'm going to put enough vehicles on this line to get to 185 by any means, but we can definitely put a lot of vehicles on here to really try and crank the rate of this and just see how it goes. It is a very, very long line that would probably be better served by trains, to be completely honest. In fact, yeah, being completely honest, trains would make so much more sense here, because we're going to need probably about 100 vehicles in this line to have it do what I need it to do. Fortunately, we should be seeing some more vehicles relatively soon. We are at 1898 right now, so we're probably not that far away from more vehicles, but yeah, the production here is not gonna, it's not gonna be very well optimized just yet, but that's okay. We will figure it out. Now, when it comes to Sheffield, the demand is 45 right now. So let's get this line to 45 while we're here. It is currently 9. It is now 18. It is now going to be about 36. It absolutely is. 2 more vehicles in that line should hopefully bring us to 45. It absolutely does. So that line is now nicely optimized, which is what we want. Those vehicles are going to be stuck in traffic for a while, but that should be fine. I can let this line use the multiple terminals though. Here at Liverpool sidings, we can absolutely say use both terminals. In Upper Liverpool, we can say the same thing because that's the docks, and that'll ever so slightly speed things up. Not by much, but certainly a little bit. Oh, there we go. We finally have some fuel over here, which is beautiful. And it wants to go to Sheffield because of course it does. What I think I'm going to do is just expand this little truck depot a bit with a few more platforms for everything, basically. We'll expand it sort of that way. And I'm going to say that the Liverpool line can also use all of those platforms to drop things off, because it should just make things a bit quicker. And that'll hopefully be good for us. I would like to throw a building in here just to sort of like square this whole thing off. I just think it looks better when it's kind of like got that look to it. I really like that. We can do some detailing with it as well at some point, but that gives us a little bit more storage, and that also means that some of these vehicles can now go to the other platforms to drop off whatever fuel they have or oil they have. They are waiting here because I told them to, because they want to take fuel back to the docks, which they're not doing because obviously, as it stands right now, there's no need for them to take fuel back to the docks because there's nowhere for it to go. But at the very least, that does give us the ability to bring fuel down to Sheffield, which is great. So we'll make a little bit of money doing that. We have a lot of vehicles back here getting stuck in traffic. This road, given that it's a new thing, is gonna give us problems. I think we're gonna have to spend a lot of money to upgrade this, is what we're gonna have to do. And the reason we're doing that is because now my vehicles can go around the slower vehicles. So it should get rid of the little bunch. Like you can see there, they're moving a bit faster because they've, oh no, they're not. They're still sitting behind that horse. Okay. Well, sometimes they'll do that. Sometimes they'll decide to go around traffic, and other times I guess they'll decide to just sit in traffic, which is fine. I think this road could do with being upgraded as well. This one could be upgraded just to get us through Manchester a little bit quicker. This one here, arguably the same thing could be done. We could maybe do the same thing with this road here in Liverpool, which is going to remove a lot of buildings, but that's okay. We can kind of make this work, and we'll upgrade you and you and you, just so there's more lane capacity between Liverpool and Manchester, given just how many vehicles I'm now sending back and forth. I think that's fair. This guy, interestingly, is now able to produce up to 800 fuel. It's only shipping 400, and we have a capacity now of 452 because I added more platforms, and I have these guys using both platforms to load and unload. So this line is now able to move more, more fuel than this can produce, or at least than this will produce, because it's being held back by this guy. This needs to level up, essentially, is what needs to happen. We need to be shipping a little bit more to our consumers, which is the fuel refinery, and then the fuel refinery itself needs to level up as well, which means that we need more shipment. Basically, this needs to level up, which means we need to send more stuff to Sheffield and Belfast, but we're getting there, is what we're doing. We're absolutely getting there. It's just gonna, it's gonna take a little bit of time, but we're getting there. Now, speaking of Belfast, the way we're going to try and do things here is by taking out a lot of these roads here. And I've got the game paused deliberately because I just need to get a rough height for where this is all going to go, which is here. That's a lot of money and that's a lot of terrain that we're moving. You can kind of see why this is going to be very expensive here at Belfast. But what I can do at the very least is lower this terrain down in this spot, bulldoze you, and then this now gives me a bit of terrain to work with in terms of, well, what we're going to be cutting away and what we're cutting into and how far back we need to go. There's a lot that's going to need to be done with the Belfast side of things here, and it's going to be expensive. It's what it's going to be. It's going to be ridiculously expensive to make this work. I mean, just cutting that away alone, that's about as far back as we need to go, is $850,000. Yeah. We we might want more trains moving more bricks and more planks. It might not be a bad idea at all to move a few more of those things, because we desperately need the money is what we need. So, oh man, how much is one of these trains worth? Let me manage these vehicles. Let me have a look here. 3.9. So even that's gonna be crazy expensive to do. But yeah, this is necessary. So the reason I'm doing this is because I want to set the docks back a little bit, so that I can kind of bring the terrain out to meet the edges of it. And I know I don't need to do this, but if I'm doing something like this, I might as well do it properly. I want it to look like this. I want it to sort of line up with the edges so that it just looks built in properly, you know? I want to do it right. So I guess let's take a look at what we can do with the actual coastline itself. We want to go to about there. That was only 807. Oh, now you want fuel. Yeah, you better keep wanting fuel with how much money I'm spending to do all this. That's going to be a real problem if Belfast suddenly decides that, oh, you know what? We kind of don't want fuel. Never mind. We'll just carve all of this out. That was about $1 million. That was 78,000. Carve all of this out as well, and that seems fine. And essentially the idea here is that I turn on my contour lines and I just go straight across like this. We just get a nice straight edge there. That was another $1 million to make that happen. We have a new boat. Oh, we have a new train, the A35. That's exciting. 62 miles an hour. We have a new train wagon as well. I do want to play with passenger trains at some point, so that'll be great. The 50-mile-per-hour tank cars, gondolas, flat car with side stakes, and box cars. We're going to be able to move stuff a lot faster. That's going to be very, very exciting. Basically, this is what I'm thinking, right? So this is going to let me line these guys up really nicely, but I want to go back just a little bit further. So again, we'll turn on our contour lines. And I think now I'm going to start cutting in here so that I can hopefully just make this work. It is just a stupid amount of money that we're spending to make this happen. But I say we're spending. I think this is, I always refer to things that we are doing in my videos because I like to think that this is sort of a collaborative thing. But this one time, it's also sort of a YouTuber thing, you know? It's like, guys, we did this. It's very community driven. I'm kind of letting you see behind the curtain a little bit here with you know, the motivations behind we doing this. This time though, I'm going to say this is me. All right. This is me. I'm not going to put the blame on you for the stupid decisions that I'm making in this episode. It's very firmly me making stupid decisions. So you're welcome is what I'm getting at. Let's build this right here, which is fine. Let me configure this. And what we want to do is put a dock here and then a passenger terminal can go down there. So we want to do the two small passenger docks here. We need some landings, so passengers can go here. Landings themselves are about 100,000 each. And for some reason, oh, we already have one there. Okay, we're good. Let's get rid of you. Let's get our cargo terminals this way and the other way. There we go. Let's do a cargo terminal down here as well for 50,000 and there. And we will do our passenger terminal right about there. And that is basically what we need. We do need to go to the back of this though and get some pedestrian entrances so that people can get in here at all spots, which is going to be quite important. So we'll go ahead and get a little something across the back like this. I am going to need to take out just a little bit more of the terrain so I can get a road in here. So we'll go and do something a bit like that, which is a crazy amount of money. But again, it's kind of necessary. So now, man, I'm spending stupid amounts of money to make this happen. It's going to look good though, right? That's the thing. It's going to look kind of cool. So hopefully, hopefully it's going to look good. I'm broke again, which is not ideal, but sure. I'm going, I really hope this works. Bring this out to here. Let me, this can be a space for like a truck depot or something. I could do one down at the end to give the vehicles like somewhere to go, which actually probably would look better, actually, now that I think about it. So we'll flatten out this terrain as well. We can actually bring this out to sort of line things up a little bit, which I think looks fine. Again, stupid amount of money to make that happen, but sure. Yeah, the truck depot for this. Oh, wait, no. Do we want the truck depot by the passengers, though? Probably not, but we could do a little bus stop thing down here. A little tram depot or something. So sure, we're going to have depots on either side of this now, which wasn't really the plan, but it's what we're doing now because I don't understand money or I know how to spend it. I know how to spend money. I don't know how to budget is my problem here. I'm spending way too much money on this. And there we go. We have ourselves a dock in Belfast. I think it looks pretty good. I put some trees around it, put some rocks around it. We have a Belfast shipyard right here as well, which I think looks absolutely fantastic. I'm so pleased with this. I am so pleased with this. I think it looks absolutely amazing. Now, what I would like to do is get myself a little truck stop over here because this is where the fuel needs to go. And then basically, we want to run a new line from here to there. It is road cargo. It is Belfast, of course, and it is fuel to, I guess, city is what we'll call that one, which is totally fine. We can get ourselves a vehicle for it while we're here. And in this case, we'll go for this guy. We'll say 2 of them for now is probably enough. And we'll get those on the fuel to city line, which is solid. The next thing to do is going to be it's finally time to build a shipping line that goes from Liverpool up to Belfast. I'm very excited about this. We'll call it boat cargo or SC ship cargo, boat cargo. I'm going to say BC, a little bit easier. Boat cargo. It is, we'll say it's a Liverpool line and it is fuel to, let's say fuel to Belfast is what it is. And it'll be that beautiful dark red color again, which I absolutely love. So in theory, we should now be able to get this entire thing up and going as soon as I get some boats in here. So we'll use most likely the Vandal since it seems set up to run fuel, which is great. So I'm going to grab 2 of them for now. Actually, we'll just grab 1 and see how it goes. We'll get it in that same beautiful dark red color. It is going to go on the Liverpool fuel to Belfast line, and it should be, and it is right there. That looks amazing. I'm so pleased with this. What I would like to do though is say that in Liverpool, 2 things can happen. Number 1, it can use both platforms. Number 2, it should be waiting for a minimum of 30 seconds. And then a maximum of 10 minutes just to make sure that it's always making sure it's taking time to stop and be full. I love this. I'm so pleased with how this has turned out. It looks amazing. We should bring some people down here. We might want to do some passenger stuff with this in a moment. In fact, I wonder, would it be an idea to move this tram stop into like this space instead? I think it would. I kind of have an idea here. So bus tram stop, let's move it to here. Let me go and upgrade the streets to have some tram tracks. So it kind of loops around like this. This entire street is going to have some tram tracks as well, because of course it is. And basically what we want to do is go to the Belfast loop. We want to say that Chester Road. So instead of going to, oh, how are we going to do this? Okay, so Queen Street is now going to go out to here, and then it's going to come back. It could actually keep going to Chester Road now that I think about it. Yeah, that's actually totally fine. I didn't need to build that new part right there. It just goes out and comes back now. It doesn't go straight to Chester Road, which is totally fine. So bulldoze you, and we can take away the tram tracks from that bit of road. And that now means people can get out to the boats. Not that we have passenger boats going right now, but that's pretty cool. I'm really happy with that. I'm so happy with this. It looks amazing. This less so. We need to do a little bit of work here in Liverpool to make this look better, but we can definitely do that in just a moment. I would like to see how you're doing. You still haven't leveled up, which is to be expected. Up this way, you are shipping a little bit more now, which is great. We have nothing being moved back to Liverpool at the moment, which is fine. So let's make sure in Leeds East we're doing what we need to do. We're unloading fuel, or sorry, we're unloading oil. We're loading up on fuel. In Upper Liverpool, we are unloading the fuel. Okay, it might just take a minute for the game to realize, like, hey, there are boats now. That's totally fine. And this thing's actually getting to a point where it's probably going to level up soon anyway, which is amazing news. This guy is actually moving some fuel. Okay, we are absolutely transporting fuel now, which is great. This guy has a rate of 52. Sheffield currently has a demand for 77. Sheffield's very happy with his fuel supply. Okay. I'm still thinking we should run some trains back and forth here to move the oil. I think that would be a lot better, but that's maybe a project for another time, because we only have like seven-ish, less than $7 million. So let's not completely overdo it right now, but there's definitely room here for some cool things to happen. I do wonder, could I build a little tram stop down here? Could I get like a tiny little... Yes, I could. That makes me happy. That makes me very happy. Because what we can do is set up a little public transport loop around Liverpool. I do think we're going to use trams, because I do think we got a new tram at some point here. So let's use this little road as our tram depot just outside of town. I don't know if we need to do that though. Where's the industry's over here, right? So maybe this road can go away for now. This building can go away as well. And we'll do the tram depot there, and that'll be all right. So how is this going to work? How do I want this to loop around? I would like the trams to use this loop right here. I think that would be very cool. So we'll have them go to the right. So they want to loop around here. We can have them sort of go up this way towards that kind of main street that we have. We're not going to have them stop on the main street, because I think that'll be a terrible idea. But we can have them kind of come down towards that way, and they can loop the entire way across here back to the start. That seems pretty solid. That'll be a good little loop for the trams around Liverpool. We'll do a stop here. We will do a stop up here. We'll do a stop in here, and we'll do a stop over there. And we'll get that set up as quickly as we can. So from here to there, up and around, that's not the direction I want it to go, but we can fix that in just a second. I have a very, very specific direction that I want it to go, which I realize it's probably doing it this way because this isn't set up to have tram lines, is it? We kind of need to fix that, is what we need to do. So go in here, give you tram lines. And so now it should be good. So we will say tram passengers, I think is what we did. Liverpool, and it's loop number 1, and that'll be great. And it's also going to be that same dark red color that we love. Okay, so now do we have this all looping the way it needs to? We absolutely do. Let me go and get myself some trams. So we have this guy. This is the new one that's kind of exciting to play with. We'll get it in the same dark red color. We'll put it on the tram loop right there. And now it is going in the direction we want it to go. I love it. Absolutely love it. There they go. That's our trams coming out. That's them looping around. That'll hopefully get people moving around Liverpool, which is perfect. And I suppose all we need to do now is get ourselves a passenger boat. See, oh, we've also got some fuel coming in here now. Amazing. Okay, let's get a passenger line going between Liverpool and Belfast as well. So this is, what is it? Boat passengers, I guess. So BP. And it will be Liverpool to, I guess Liverpool/Belfast is what we'll call it. We'll make it a dark red line because that seems fine. And we just need a boat for it now. So what are my options for passenger boats? We have the Klondike, which can move 110 people and also cargo, which is interesting. I don't know that I want to move. Well, actually, now that I think about it, that could serve two purposes, is what that could do. I don't know if it will serve two purposes, but I might give that a shot. Let's purchase this thing and see how it goes. I'm curious. I'm definitely curious to see how this works. So put you on the boat passengers line. Unable to find a path. Nope. Oh, it's a big ship. I'm an idiot. Oh, that's unfortunate because we're using small. Okay. We need to sell you. We'll use a small ship, which is totally fine. I don't think any of the small ships. Oh, you do. The Wilhelm has room for cargo and people. We'll just use this. Is what we'll do. It's fine. We'll do something like this, and we will say boat passengers, and away you go. So that is, wow. We got boats before I went for planes. That's new. I don't usually do that, but I'm excited. I love how this has turned out. I do think I should turn my attention to making this look a little bit better down here. So very quickly, we'll just do what I did in Belfast. I'll go in with some mixed trees just for a little bit of detailing, just to kind of hide some crimes a little bit, basically is what I'm doing. So just a whole bunch of trees kind of around the buildings just to make it look a little bit more alive. Some trees up in the hill also kind of helps a little bit just to, again, hide some of those crimes. So we'll do a little bit of this just to sort of surround this thing. Same with up here. We'll kind of dot the hill with a few trees just to, again, just make it look a little bit more alive around here. I think that's kind of important. And honestly, I'm sort of okay with this. Maybe a little thicker patch of trees just in the middle here will be kind of nice. Let's go for a slightly larger brush and a slightly lower strength so I can just feather some trees out this way as well. Maybe bring it sort of towards that forest so it looks like it could be sort of coming from that. We'll kind of do the same thing here. Little something there as well, and a little something here. This can be sort of joined into this forest on the other side of the river, which I think is all right. And I think that's probably enough. I would like to go in with some mixed rocks as well, because I think some rocks across the waterfront does a really good job of just making this, again, a little bit more detailed. We can do the same thing over on this side with just a few little rocks, maybe a slightly larger brush to get this to work with me here. There we go. That's a little bit better. We can also do just a few of them in and around here because we do have a little smattering of rocks up that way. And I think that looks pretty good. It's not perfect, but it looks decent enough. It's about as good as it's going to be. And I'm okay with that. We don't have that many people going around Liverpool on the trams, which I suppose is to be expected. I'm also realizing we probably should start looking at bringing bricks over to Liverpool at some point as well. So going with the boat that we went for might not have been the best idea. We do have 2 people wanting to go to over to Liverpool though, which is very exciting. And we have this boat bringing 12 fuel over here as well, which is also very exciting. And you know, I'm really curious just what that's going to be worth as it arrives in Belfast. I can't imagine much. Yeah, 100,000. Oh, that's really underwhelming. We've spent so much money for $100,000. I do want to play around with these for a second because I can reroute these shipping lines a little bit, and I think that would be a good idea. I want to do something like this, because I think we want to make sure that the boats are you know, coming out here a decent little distance, and also I want them to kind of like come into Belfast sort of at a distance. I don't want them like just hugging the coastline here. So I'm curious to see if that's a thing we can do. If I manage this line and I say from Belfast, you then go there, that just looks better to me. It looks sort of out a little bit further, and I think that's kind of cool. So then from Liverpool, I want it to go there, and that again just looks better to me. I think I'm about to do something that's completely unnecessary for these boats, but I think it's going to be absolutely worth it. Let's have some of these guys like here, and I'm gradually just going to take them sort of up this way is kind of what I'm thinking. So we'll sort of go a bit like this. We can go sort of this way as well. Again, like I said, really unnecessary to do this, but I think it's going to be pretty good. We can bring the boats sort of this way, and let's see sort of what that's going to look like on the way in here from Liverpool. So manage line from Liverpool. We want to go, so waypoint 2 is the last one. We want to go and add a stop here, and then we want to go all the way up to there, to this one, and then this one, which is fine. And it's looping around the way I would like it to, right? It's kind of following that line. It's going all the way up there, and then it's kind of coming back down the other way. I think what we'll do then is get some waypoints going in the opposite direction, which might be silly. I know nothing about boats, but I like the idea that they're going to follow a set path is what I like. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, I'm not saying that I spent most of my money again on terraforming to make this river a little bit wider, but I absolutely did. Because if I look at these lines, they, despite the fact that the ships are not following them, they could be. It is certainly a choice that I have made here with these shipping lines. Whether or not that's efficient is to be determined. What is good though is that we have 13 fuel sitting here in Liverpool right now, getting loaded onto that ship. What is also good news is that this guy is now able to produce just a little bit more, which is fantastic news. Which should mean that this guy, yep, is also now able to produce an absolute ton of oil, which means that this guy is producing up to 800 now. So the fuel production is going well, is what I'm gonna go with. That's the narrative that I'm gonna choose here, is that fuel production is going very well. Sheffield could definitely do with having a few more vehicles to start taking fuel down there. So we'll go up to 14 vehicles in that line to make sure that enough fuel is being delivered. Other consumers, Belfast 15. Belfast is not going to be a major consumer of fuel, but here's the beautiful thing. Oma wants fuel, and a lot of it. If we look down towards Mullingar, they want a lot of it. Castlebar, they want a lot of it, and so on and so forth. So what's most likely going to have to happen is that I'm going to have to get a lot of trucks to pick up fuel here and take it to those locations, or I'm going to have to expand my little cargo facility over here and start bringing fuel on dedicated train lines down to Mullingar, to then maybe split off to Castlebar. So we have sort of, 2 deliveries being made there. We extend it down to Limerick to take it over to Tralee and Cork. That could be pretty good. And then maybe just a dedicated little truck line that goes from the docks to Oma. In fact, I think I'd like to do that right now because it's going to be relatively quick to do. So let's do a little truck stop right here, and that'll be great. And basically we want to go to new line. We want to say from here, we want to say going all the way into Oma, right about there. We'll say road cargo. We will say OMAGH, and it will be fuel to city is what it's going to be. That is our second road cargo line for Oma, which is fine. Let's make sure it's set up properly though. So manage line in Belfast Central, which is a real place. It's not a dock, but it's a real place. Load up on fuel. And the demand in Oma right now is 58. So what we will do is get enough vehicles to match that demand and hope that everything else kind of lines up. So we'll go for 10 of these guys. We will do them in bright pink, and we will say road cargo, Oma fuel to city. And then if we take a look at this line, the rate is 24. If I double that, it should give us 48, 49. And then let's say another 5 vehicles is hopefully, yeah, just over 58. That's perfect. So basically, that is now going to give us another consumer for the Leeds fuel refinery, which we now have to ship to. And so hopefully that means more stuff getting loaded into those trucks going to the docks, which means more stuff getting loaded into the boats, which all in all means that we should have more money in general, which is beautiful. That's what we're looking for. It also looks like the boats are now following the boys, which is great. We have no one going from Liverpool to Belfast, which understandable, I suppose. But this is cool. I really like this, and I'm really, really happy with this. And you know, I've got to say, I really love this as well. We have 74 fuel already waiting to head over to Belfast. This guy can hold 130, which is a lot. It's a lot. That's a lot of fuel. The good news, though, is this is actually the second ship on the Liverpool fuel to Belfast line. So we have another cargo ship coming down here, which is beautiful news. I'm not expecting to fill them right away because we don't actually have enough demand to do that, but we should be able to get there. I'm also hoping we can really bring the production in this place back up because it's fallen off a little bit. It does look like we have a pretty good supply of trucks coming in here though, which is a beautiful thing. I did go ahead and bring the rate of, oh, wait a minute. This line's down to 100. So I put more vehicles in this line. There's now 80 vehicles on this line, but the rate is still 134, which is really interesting to me because when I bought those vehicles, the rate went up to like 170 something. So that's kind of curious. It does fluctuate. It will change based on traffic and things like that, but it's very interesting. I do wonder if I was to go in and do something like this, could I use this road to get people around? Would that be better for my, no, it isn't. It's still not really any shorter at all. What if I was to bring this road down here? Would that improve anything for us at all? So that just runs like down this way. I don't love what it's doing with the hills there. I'm not gonna lie. Not a huge fan of that. Let's take this road away for a second and let's just try this right here. Does that give them another route to take? No, it's still not any better. What I'm wondering though is, would it be better to send my trucks out and around anyway? Because then they're avoiding traffic. Although as I say that, we have traffic going there, so maybe not. It should be all right. It'll figure itself out. Production here has kind of shot up again as we have all these deliveries coming through. This is back up to 163 as well, which is great news. So if we look at our consumers, Sheffield is 72, almost 58. Belfast is 15. We are hopefully going to be moving everything that we need to be moving. We have 2 cargo ships sitting right here, which is very interesting. I kind of want this one to wait, did I just turn the entire line around? Oh no. Hold on, you go back. I need this one to turn around and go back into Liverpool. I just want it to wait there because by the time it's done waiting, this one will be getting towards Belfast, and that's, I want them separated like that. I think it just makes a bit more sense. Anyway, I suppose that will have to do us for today. I'm really happy with what we've managed to do here. We're still making a ton of money, which is amazing news. And I'm sure you're a little bit curious because I know I was as well. We're still making a bunch of the train line. The oil to fuel line is now our second most profitable line, which is amazing. It does fluctuate. The train lines do both get up there as well. The other one, the crude oil line, still super profitable too, which again, we love to see. I do wonder what the oil to fuel line would look like if we did that by train, because the production, the amount of oil being moved, the amount of fuel that will eventually get moved, I could see that being our most profitable line, especially when we get the fuel moving here as well. Once we start moving it from Belfast down towards Mullingar, Castlebar, Tralee, Cork, and yeah, that's it. We're already moving it to Omagh. So I am expecting some really, really good things. I'm expecting some really exciting things. And just for another little bit of closure, we have 91 units of fuel coming into Belfast. That is going to be worth a grand total of 765,000. So honestly, not as profitable as I was hoping. But a good amount of that is set to go to Omagh already, with another amount set to go to Belfast as well. So we should be seeing, and we are seeing, these little trucks coming in here. They're loading up in the fuel. They're taking them over to Omagh. The rate is 84 on this, so we should be all right. They should be good to come and go relatively regularly and do what they need to do, which is beautiful. I love this. I absolutely love this. And so that is going to do us for today. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. This has been an absolute pleasure as always. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.